Hey folks, it's Comic-Con Eve for me. Let's do today's CSS Battle. CSSBattle.dev. What do we got? I'm not sure what to call that shape, but it's pretty cool. All right, and what is that shape? Rather elegant, interesting shape on all accounts. I think I'm going to go ahead and be bold and go nested template. I think that I know what I want to do to create that. I'm putting the color into the margin value. That's not going to work. All right, so instead of black, we're going to put this, I guess it's a deep red or brown. So our first step is to use margins on the HTML element to narrow in the body element. 3, 5, 6, 7, 6, 65, 66, 67. That's step one. The next step is a border radius to do the bottom part. Border radius 0, 0, and then some teeny tiny values. How about 5 pixels, 5 pixels? Let's see if that does it. No, not enough. How about 10? And then let's go, well, for the other one, let's see if we can do Q. How about 11Q? How about 10Q? How about 11 or 9? 8. So 8 is not good. 9, 10, Q. I think it's 10. I think 10Q will work. I'm always suspicious of that particular unit because I have often found it to be the case that I'm at 99.9%, and what is the thing that fixes it if I remove it? The Q unit. But I can't deny that it can work. All right. So for background, I'm going to see about using the trick. Let's see. Well, let's see if I can do it. Background. So background is not that color. What we want. Oh, even better. I was going to use a trick, but I don't think I need to use a trick. I'm going to do a border. How about 10 pixels solid? And then the color. Now we can't see that yet. Now we can. And that 10 is way too big. How about 5? That a match? Oh, so it's even simpler than I thought. So I thought that I was going to need to use the trick that you all taught me the other day, the 2 different tricks, which is in the fourth numerical parameter on inset box shadow, but I don't think I need to. But we're going to find out. How about a radial gradient? So our background is a radial and then a linear gradient, I think is how I'm going to do it. So two gradients. I think there are ways to do it not that way, but we'll do background, radial gradient, and I will use 1Q to denote a circle, and then this color, about 30 pixels, and then transparent. Oh, even better. How about I do transparent, and then the dark color. Can I do that? Let's find out. Okay. And then we move it. Let's move it with an at. We'll do it at 50%, 10 pixels, 20, and then 50%, 0, 10 pixels, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's pretty good. And is that better than 1Q 0 minus 20 pixels? I don't think that's better. Let's try that. 20 minus 25, 26, 27. Okay. And that's got what, a transparent. So what do? We've got, that's transparent and that's looking through, and then we've got this dark color, which means, so we got that. If I do this with black and then do this with like red, we can see what we got going on here. We actually have, that's the thing. So undo, and now our choices are a linear gradient with a covering 20 pixels and then transparent, which will work. But is that shorter than box shadow, inset 0, 10 pixels, and then the color? So which is shorter? Let's take a look. We'll take a look at them side by side. Linear gradient, blah, blah. Well, seems like the inset box shadow is quite shorter. So we go like that, clump. Oh, and it's 20 pixels, or yeah. And let's see. So yeah, box shadow wins. We'll keep that. Do we need to make any alterations there then? I don't think so. Let's submit and find out whether we've solved it. And we have. So I love that. We didn't use any of the techniques that you all shared with me the other day. Could we? Not this way. I think we'd have to use 2 gradients and use the content, the box content parameter of the background to make that work. Anyway, that's too much talking. Get out of here. All right, so let's resubmit final answer with the nested template. Am I going to do another way here? I don't think I can get shorter than that. You know, there's nips and tucks and characters I can remove, but you know, that's less interesting to me. But you're welcome to explore all the different ways you could do this. It'd be interesting to see if there's ways to make this sort of rhyme and have the. So right now, the body has got this blue on it, right? Well, that makes it crazy. If I go that. So if I remove that, then that's what that looks like, which is certainly interesting because of the way that ampersand and star work, but I still haven't done a proper explanation of. I will at some point. I promised that last week, and I don't think it's happening. But I'm definitely going to dive into that at some point. All right. Have a great day. If you're going to Comic-Con, I hope you enjoy it. If you can't get to San Diego Comic-Con, I'm very lucky that living in San Diego that I can do that. There probably are cons that are near you. And if anything, programming meetups and all kinds of different ways to reach out and meet other people who are doing the cool stuff that you're doing. All right. Get out of here. Have a great day. Bye-bye.